The year is 1996. Cornwall is in economic doldrums and frankly struggling, but the Cornish folk remain steadfast positive. I'd been touring my beloved land, visiting locations on and off the tourist trail, taking inspiration to pen lyrics and tunes. In fact, over the next 18 months, I'd extensively visit the far west, south coast, far north, the often forgotten east, and many places in between, attending shows, festivals, fetes and gigs. This yielded a wealth of new song material.
I said, wait, hey, let's do what I say. The sun will shine bright today. I said, wait, hey, let's do what I say. The sun will shine bright today, brighter than yesterday. The sun will shine bright today.
The first complete piece was Cornish River Song, inspired by two utterly contrasting river adventures. The river fowl laid up giant ships waiting to be scrapped on a proper grey Cornish stormy day, compared against a serene cruise on the idyllic Mirrorglass River Foy. Other songs quickly followed. On the Moor was actually written pining for fresh air on a boiling hot day, whilst queued up on sweltering Falmouth Moor bus stop. Uprising and building castles were all about positivity, looking forwards, not back, or dwelling too long on the woes of the present. The message being simple: Cornwall has a bright future, but we may have to work hard and fight for it. Dark Mark Brady and Wild West Wind Wood were both written on a wild stormy night with a violent Cornish gale howling and shaking the very foundations. When it came to recording, resources were painfully limited, so every individual track on each song was recorded live in a one-off warts and all take, with no overdubs or retakes. Working with these restrictions, the entire album took only a few sessions to complete. An original pencil sketch of Wheel Colt's Mine was the choice for the cover, as it was quick, adding a gold and black Cornish livery. The 1998 album Way Down Ere was considered lost, as it was recorded on a low-grade cassette, which has sadly not fared well over time. The original recordings were made on a mix of hi-fi twin tape decks and a Tascam 4-track using frankly the most basic microphones. The album was recorded and promoted on a budget of zero. Despite this, sales were incredible, selling out in record shops all across Cornwall several times over. Sadly that though, with hindsight, is where a massive mistake was made, reinvesting the profits into CDs without remixing the audio. In fact, the quality of the first discs was so disappointing that the Way Down Ere project was brought to a premature end. With no help on offer, it wasn't until much later that a budget finally allowed a remix, but the original masters were in such a state that they were far beyond use, and that's where the story ended for a very, very long time. With the 25th anniversary approaching, re-recording the entire album afresh held very little appeal. Then, in late 22, a rare piece of good timing. The latest state-of-the-art new re-digitisation equipment became available at Bude Music Studios. So after some very tedious and frenetic work deconstructing, cleaning up and reconstructing songs from a mix of original session takes, early demos and a half-decent live recording, by some miracle it's been possible to create a complete version of every track. So please forgive the odd buzz, hiss, rattle and topping out. Oh.